Dricus Du Plessis' coach, Morn Visser, has walked back some of the heat he threw at Khamzat Chimaev earlier this week, where he blasted his striking as horrible and his whole MMA game as one-dimensional. In a fresh interview with Submission Radio, Visser softened things up, saying Khamzat's striking is actually okay and his wrestling is obviously strong, but he still sees the same pattern, Chimaev using punches mainly to set up his takedowns. That's the one-dimensional part in his eyes. But while DDP's camp is trying to decode him, over in Team Khamzat, there's been talk all week about a secret move he's been working on, and now his Russian striking coach finally gave a little tease. If this fight goes deep, expect to see more variety, specifically knees and kicks, that Khamzat has been drilling hard, with the knees being a real point of focus. So while DDP's side is questioning predictability, Khamzat's camp is hinting at brand new weapons that could completely flip the script once the fight gets out of the early storm. Who do you think leaves the cage with the middleweight belt tonight? Leave your comments below.
He's actually a phenomenal fighter. His wrestling is good. I think his stand-up's okay.
You said he couldn't get a pro boxing license in the
no, not a pro boxing license, like a pro K1 license. I mean,
yeah.
Let's be honest, you need to be able to throw kicks, knees, elbows, and he's super one-dimensional. He just throws a couple of punches, never steps into his punches, and then he uses his punches to set up his takedown. So I can't give any. Or look at if you look at how when he gets close into brawls, it's just a swinging thing. So there's nothing controlled about that. So yeah, I was maybe a bit hard on him. Look, Dricus said it before. I'm saying it. Dricus is the best MMA fighter in the world. Dricus is not the best wrestler, not the best stand-up guy. He's getting crucified a lot about, especially stand-up. You must realize that Dricus can fight from orthodox, box, kick, and shoot. Kick and shoot.
UFC commentator Jon Anik just stirred the pot, saying he's confident we'll eventually see Ilia Topuria defend his lightweight belt against Islam Makhachev, and he favors Islam to beat Ilia at both lightweight and welterweight. First things first, Islam has to handle business against Jack Della Maddalena at Madison Square Garden, but regardless of that outcome, the possibility of Islam versus Topuria is very real. If Islam loses, he is definitely dropping down for it, and if he wins, chasing a legacy fight with Ilia still makes perfect sense. Adding to the drama, Ilia's former training partner Khamzat Chimaev, who's also tight with Arman Tsarukyan, says Ilia should fight Arman next instead, calling them the two best lightweights who need to settle it in the cage. And Arman isn't shy about his stance either. He insists he's the more complete fighter, brushing off Topuria's wrestling entirely, saying Ilia only brings boxing to the table, while he himself has kicks, knees, elbows, wrestling, and grappling to back it all up. He even claims he's the better striker overall, with Anik planting seeds for Ilia versus Islam, Khamzat pushing for Ilia versus Arman, and the fighters themselves trading words. The lightweight division feels like it's about to explode no matter which direction the UFC takes.
I do think you'll see Islam Makhachev back at 155 pounds. That's the fight, you know, that's a dream matchup. As for how it plays out, if I had to send anybody in there, maybe across two divisions, to beat Ilia Topuria right now, I would send Islam in there. So I think he's got a great shot if, in fact, he moves back down.
In the final interview with ESPN ahead of UFC 319, Dricus Du Plessis addressed all the chatter about Khamzat Chimaev's game plan and wrestling threat, and he made it clear he's not intimidated one bit. DDP said he welcomes the wrestling and is ready for the challenge. For context, back in his early UFC days, Dricus leaned on his wrestling a lot. Sometimes it looked a little goofy, of course, classic DDP, but he was effective, so he's no stranger to taking fights to the ground. Now he's flipping the narrative, pointing out that Khamzat has never been taken down and has never faced someone like Du Plessis on top of him. The champ is also the biggest fighter Khamzat has ever faced, bigger and stronger than someone like Ikram Aliskerov, who may have been a natural middleweight but isn't in the same league physically. Even with all that, DDP gave Chimaev his respect, calling him a beast, but made it clear he isn't going anywhere and is willing to take him head on. With both men confident in their strengths and ready to push the pace, UFC 319 is shaping up to be pure chaos. Exactly the kind of fight fans live for.
Listen, in this sport, I believe you have to be able to match somebody anywhere, especially where they are good, and then you have to go out and follow your plan and do what you do, and that's what I've been doing. Match them on where they are good, where they are the leaders or where they have had the most success, and then do what you need to do. And that's exactly what I plan on doing tomorrow. I am not scared to go to the ground. I know the fight is going to end up on the ground at some stage. I am not scared of that. I embrace that. In fact, I welcome that. And then it's, you know, if we get back to the striking, then he has to deal with me. And then when is this, we haven't seen this man on his back, especially not with me on top of him. Well, I'll just prove once again that I'm the best middleweight in the world, 100%, exactly the same as the previous one and exactly the same as the next one. Two best guys, truly best fighters in the world going up against each other, and that's why people are so excited. They know what it's going to be. They know when I go out there, it's electric, it's fireworks, and they know when he goes out there for one round, it's one hell of a fight.
Just hours away from UFC 319, where all eyes are on the collision between Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev, the narrative has been smooth and respectful. DDP and Khamzat showed each other mutual respect on multiple occasions, giving fans no reason to expect fireworks outside the cage. But out of nowhere, drama struck, not with Dricus, but with someone completely different. Enter Bibert Tumanov, a Russian fighter who's been stirring the pot for over a year, constantly throwing verbal shots at Khamzat, daring him to fight, and even dragging Ilia Topuria into the mix. Tumanov went as far as saying he'd knock Topuria out cold, and that he's not scared of either man. First, let's dive into what he had to say about Topuria.
Меня пригласил бы в центр октагона, я с ним сразу же зарубился бы. Это проблему никаких не составляет. Ничем я ему и в скорости, и в силе удара не уступаю.
То есть тоже вырубил бы его?
Ну, я думаю, в руки я был бы быстрее. Мне так кажется.
With Khamzat being tight with Topuria, it was only a matter of time before those words caught up to him, and that's exactly what happened. Reports started buzzing that inside the hotel, Chimaev had enough and confronted Tumanov face to face. Fans didn't know how real the story was until now. Audio footage leaked on Russian media finally confirmed it, with Chimaev himself addressing the confrontation directly.
Ты подошел к Биберту Туменову, к Хусейну Туменову, и в свое время Альберт Туменов тебе, ну, можно сказать, бросал вызов, говорил, что подпишите меня в UFC, я готов выйти на замену, чтобы подраться с Кhamzatом. Вы сейчас с ним виделись в гостинице, и как у вас сейчас отношения?
Его отец, по-моему, и его брат там сидели, да. Ну, подошел, поговорил. Ну, спорт, братья, на улице всегда братья.
That's it from MMA Psycho. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA news.